I think we're live. What up, dudes? How we doing tonight? First, I need you guys' help. All right, so you guys got. I think we're live. I heard myself hearing myself. It got weird, but come on. There we go. All right, what up, guys? How we doing tonight? I hope you guys are good. I'm super stoked for tonight's live chat. I got a lot of cool things I want to talk about, but I also want to hear from you guys. So first things first, how is the audio sound? I'm using like a wireless microphone. If there's like any rubbing or anything, like just let me know. If the audio doesn't sound good, I need to turn it up, turn it down. You guys let me know because I definitely want to make sure you guys can hear me. And then is this going to be an uncensored Q&A? Uh-oh, I don't know. It depends on what you're trying to ask. That's funny. But, dude, we got a bunch of you guys in here tonight. I'm super excited. I will say what's up to you guys here in a hot second. But first and foremost, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining tonight, hanging out with me during this live chat. The whole point of this live chat, there's two big things I want to get across in this live chat, is to be able to get to know you guys like more, right? I see a lot of you guys' names over and over, and that gets me stoked because I want to be able to get to know you guys, get to know you guys and be familiar with you. That's a big thing, which I'm really hyped on. Also, I want to answer your questions, right? That's why you're here. It's a live Q&A. Sometimes what we do is we will do a clinic. I did a wax clinic. I need to do an edge clinic. I want to do a spinning clinic. And then big shout out to my dad. He just said that everything is looking good. There we go. So I got to remember to keep my hands down because the camera wants to like see them. So I'm going to try to do my best with not using my hands. But the whole point is just to be able to say what up to you guys, get to know you, and answer as many questions as I can. If I miss your questions, like my bad, go ahead and copy paste and put them down below. I will do my absolute best trying to get as much boom, there we go, as many questions answered as we can. And then that reminds me, if you guys are looking to, if you want a specific question answered like right away and you want to skip the line, what I usually do is I kind of start from the top, scroll down. If we have a lot of people in here, I might skip around and try to skip around and get it to as many impactful questions as possible. But if you're like, dude, you need to answer my question, feel free to use the link that is down in the description below. I've also linked it in the chat. So big shout out to Sean Roman. I missed you the other day, dude. I did send you a voice message and I was like, dude, I missed you because I was riding park. But big shout out to you. It says get a cup of coffee for the boy with the $5 donation. So big shout out to Sean Roman, dude. Thank you so much for the $5 dono. That's sick. With that, all the donations do go back into the channel, paying for like little microphones, trying to make this as awesome as possible, backdrops, and paying for internet and all that stuff. So every single dollar is extremely appreciated. And but you know, it's not expected. I do this because I want to help you guys first and foremost. The more I can help you guys, the more you become awesome at snowboarding, the more we're all gonna win. So that's definitely the goal. So we got a bunch of people in here, and I want to say what up to everybody. How we doing, guys? Okay, dude, you guys are popping off, dude. I love this popping off. The craziest thing is you guys can't see it, but there's a little speck in my hat, and it like drives me crazy, but you guys might not be able to see it, but I see it, but whatever. Yeah, so I want to say what up to a bunch of you guys. If you guys have any snowboard questions, you got anything like that, definitely let me know. And big shout out to Kenny Shellnut with the $1 donation before it even started. The boys supporting the cause. Kenny, I ended up taking like a third of a lap with Kenny the other day, and Kenny's helping me with the app that I will give you guys an update here in a little bit. But he was helping me with the app, and I was like, dude, what up, dog? We got to like ride. He like freaking rips. I was like, what? So it was really sick. We also got, dude, we got my dude Pitt with a $5 donation. Let's go. He says, so hyped. We're going to shred up copper, my dude. By the way, guys, so in Colorado, we've been having like a decent season. I wouldn't say over the edge crazy, but I would say like it's decent. But I'm very thankful to be snowboarding. So what we've been doing is, so Keystone has really good like top to bottom. It's pretty fun. They got a couple runs that are like 2 different runs that go top to bottom. It's a leg burner. Like I gotta stop, and I snowboard a lot. So I gotta stop, take a break. After that, Breckenridge has like and Keystone has a part 2. And then Breck has some really cool groomers, really good beginner terrain. They're starting to expand quite a bit. And they got a park as well. And then Copper has like a bit of a kind of almost top to bottom. Not quite full top, but almost top to bottom. And then they put in a bunch of features. So if any of you guys are coming out for the holidays, things are looking pretty good. Little limited on terrain, to be honest, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So what up, Greg, Mick? What up, dude? How you doing tonight? And we also got Cat, my man, Snow. What up, dog? Greg says, right, I need to get out there. Oh, because I had commented, what up, dog? You need to be in Colorado. He's like, yeah. We got Will says, got any good stretches to get crail and seatbelt grabs, dude? Yes. You know those classic exercises when you're in high school and you like do the foot kick out and then you grab the toe? Really think about that. You're grabbing the toe with the opposite hand and trying to stretch out your hamstring. And there's two different ways to grab seatbelt / crail. You can do it where if you bring one knee up more than the other, it starts to raise your nose just a bit, or tail. So raise it this way, and then you're actually gonna take your hand and you're gonna grab over the board this way, so you're bending your knee up and grabbing the board. So you actually only need to push one leg down and bring the other leg up to make the nose like get up there. That's how I do my seatbelts specifically. I have a bunch of videos on seatbelts, like backside 360 seatbelt. I've done back 5 seatbelt, straighter seatbelt, switch seatbelt. That's the tactic that I use, is retract one, and then essentially you're reaching over and grabbing the grab. The other tactic would be, what you do is you shift your hips. So if this is the front foot, this is my snowboard. I need like a little snowboard doll, but I got snowboard here, lead binding, back binding, and then what you can do is you can rotate your hips, and then you actually grab across your body. So let's see if this thing will keep up. There we go. So that's why the wireless microphone is sick. So I can take my back hand and I can shift my hips and then go across the body like that. So it's more of a hip flexion as well, but you keep your legs kind of straight. So that's where you're gonna need to have your hamstrings loose. Or you do seatbelt, you bring one knee like this and you grab over. So there's like kind of two different methodologies for grabbing that. So, and if you guys have never been in one of these live chats before, we get a little nerdy, we get a little techie. So I hope you guys like that stuff. And if you guys do like it, definitely give it a thumbs up. What else we got in here? We got Stoke Dog 8. What up, dog? How we doing tonight? Kyle Frazier says, gotta go check out the new Stale vid. Oh, Stale vid. Dude, you said that last time, dude. You keeping me honest here. I appreciate it. Doan R6 with the, what up? Rachie Sue, how you doing tonight? Rachie Sue says, waiting intensifies. LOL, too excited. You guys might think I'm dyslexic because I read that backwards, but you know what? Whatever. It's all good. Kenny Shell now. We also got Grandpa Bob. Grandpa Bob, we got to catch up soon. We're in this weird predicament where things, put my hands down. Grandpa Bob, we're in this predicament where things could be happening like overnight. Things could kind of change, but we're just kind of waiting for that tipping point. So we just got to catch up. I think like, I'm talking to Grandpa Bob specifically about the goggle company I'm starting, and we're kind of at this like point where like things could happen really, really quick, but we're waiting for things to happen so they can happen quick. But I don't want to really talk about it too much. I don't want to jinx it, you know what I mean? We got Kyle Frazier says, Chris Struck, it's game time. What up, dog? Steven, how you doing, dude? What's up with the car, bro? You drive with your eyes closed? Like, I hope you're good, dude. I hope you're good. Let's see. Aaron Snow says, "What's up, my best bot?" LOL. Such a troll. Coco says, "It is going to be an uncensored Q&A." Rip rip. Howie, dude, what's up, dude? Howie with the $2 super chat. What up, dog? It was great seeing you today. Also, thanks for helping out on the video a couple weeks ago. Howie and I got to go rip it up and go do some like power turns before the resorts open and all that. So, what up, dog? Greg Mix says, "You." Thomas, what up? Remy, what up, boys? What up, dog? And then we got John Seymour says, "Yo, Fortnite event today was insane." Dude, I actually ran out of hard drive space on my computer, and I had to delete that and delete a couple other things. So rip to that one. Dre says, "Yo." We also got KVA in the house. He says, hey, TB. Tony says, hot wax or hand wax on snowboard? Hot wax. Hot wax will actually allow the wax to adhere to the base material better, so it's gonna get a better adhesion, which is gonna make it go faster versus just kind of like a little light one. So you definitely wanna heat it up, and then it can just hang out together, you know what I mean? Jeremy, what up, dude? Hopefully Meadows is popping off. I think you guys opened on the 30th, which was like a day ago, so hopefully that's going good. L Stackers, what up, dog? Amy Andrews, I'm ready even though there's no snow in MA. Dude, yes, you guys need snow. We gotta do a snow dance together. Like, seriously, we gotta do a snow dance. And then Howie says, what up, Tommy? What up, dog? Aaron Snow says, life of a streamer. Dude, life of a streamer, right? Will says, you sound gorgeous. Aw, thanks, dog. We got Linda. Linda, sounds great. Okay, so we're getting here. Again, if you guys have any questions. Oh, we got also, I missed a super chat from Steven says, with the little TB little animation thing, says, pumped to fly to Colorado, board with you. Dude, let's go. We got to make that happen. Angry snowboarder is angry. Oh, that's funny. Let's see, I'm gonna scroll back up. Again, if I miss any of you guys' chat, sometimes I do move a little slow, sometimes I move a little fast, but we try to make this happen. So Amy, hopefully you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. I haven't seen you in a long time, but thanks for coming out, and hi. Oh, look at that. Dude, we just got a new, Will just joined and became a member. If you guys are interested in becoming a member, there's a little button down below. Essentially gives you little icons. You're supporting the channel, you're helping out, and all of that helps. But dude, Will, thank you so much for joining the program. Dude, let's go. The TB level 1, let's go, dude, I'm hyped. Like I said, if I miss your chat, your question, might be copy paste, pop it down below. My bad. Earl says, what's up? Let's go. Jessica says, sounds good here in Canada. No way. Let's go. Is it Casey? Yo, from KY. Let's go. Jeremy does say that Meadows is open. Are you guys snowboarding right now? If you're not snowboarding right now, hopefully you guys will be snowboarding soon. And then these live chats are also a great opportunity for me to understand where you guys are struggling so I can make content. So I dropped a how to ride, or no, I did a K2 clicker. Oh my gosh, let's go. Okay. Grandpa Bob, thank you so much for the donation. I will answer that in here in a hot second. But I dropped a Step-In, a K2 clicker video. I've been trying, okay, so just so you guys know, what I've been trying to do is I will be posting videos on Friday. But I'm dropping content as much as I can. Maybe there's like a live chat, maybe it's a vlog, maybe it's another Q&A, maybe it's something else. But if you put the post notifications on, you guys will be able to see that content. So I dropped like the clicker video randomly because I just want to get that content out there to you guys. So if you have the post notifications on, you're going to be able to see those first. Also on Friday, I'm going to be doing a beginner's guide on one-footed snowboarding. People have been asking, DMing, hitting me up about one-footed snowboarding. Should you be pushing on your toe side? Should you be pushing on the heel side? How do you stop? How do you get off a chairlift? How do you do all these things one-footed? And we kind of go a little nerdy. It's not about gnarly ripping snowboarding crazy. It's more like, okay, we're gonna take a little second. We're gonna talk, get a little nerdy about body positions, pros and cons, and why this is awesome and why this is maybe not awesome. So it's about a 10-minute video dropping on Friday, but I'm really excited because that's something that you guys have been asking. So more of the story is the more you guys ask questions in here, that gives me ideas of what content I need to visually demonstrate and make better for you guys. So we're gonna go to the $5 donation from Grandpa Bob. Says, any tips for getting edge up better? Seems to be dragging them. So Grandpa Bob, would you pop in the chat? I'll scroll down. What do you mean? Are you talking about specifically on a C-turn where you kind of catch your edge like in that? Are you talking about kind of the pinball effect where your board's going straight down the line, you're kind of getting one of these? Or are you talking about catching a toe side edge when you're maybe rotating or stopping? Will you just specify for us just so I can know exactly? Gabby says, Tommy, I love your energy, man. Love the videos. Also purchased a K2 clickers 2 weeks ago. Excited to use them next week, dude. Gabby, hopefully you crush it. Hopefully you're killing it. And hopefully it's fun for sure. And I'm just so you guys know, I am going to scroll back up here in a second, but I want to see what Grandpa Bob can elaborate on that. And big shout out to Grandpa Bob. He is helping me design, create, logistics behind the goggle company. The goggle company, I was hoping to be a little quicker. It's not all good, right? So I would love to be releasing those next year. And thank you guys who have done the surveys, who have like put in information about that, but that's a big deal. Riding flats on toe edge doesn't get high enough and I catch. See, there we go. Okay, so riding flats on my toe edge and I don't get them up enough. So if you're on your toe side edge, so what I'm thinking about is if you're on your toe side edge, what you really want to be able to do is take both of your knees and press them over your toes. So you're essentially creating an edge angle with your feet, but you push your knees over your toes. And as you push your knees over your toes, your actual edge will get in the air. And so you might have a little bit more of an edge angle, but you're gonna have a lot more distance to clear. In addition to that position, your center of mass is gonna be able to stay tall and balanced while your knees do the work. So that could be a really, really helpful thing. And then we also had something about Howie. Jono with the Howie with the dono. Yes, I did get to that. I was super stoked. Howie and I have actually made a video snowboarding to POW, doing some turns together. It was sick. Oh, the toe catches because you don't get them high enough. Okay, that makes sense. What I would suggest you do is you can lean over and actually apply pressure to both your high backs to get the edge up. But another tactic that you can do is consciously think about lifting up your toes to the top of your boots. What that's gonna do is your ankles are gonna raise that edge just a little bit. So you're pulling from the toe strap and you're gonna let that edge up. So what I like to do is if I'm stopping on my heel side edge, let's say, I actually lean back on my high backs a little bit, but I primarily just lift up my toes. So being able to utilize your toes to stop or to be able to utilize your toes to be able to stop or control your edge angle is actually such a key. Will also had said with a new little icon, what up dog? Will also says forward lean. Yeah, forward lean can be a double-edged sword. There's pros to it and there's cons to it. The pro is that you can barely press on your high back and it will get the toe edge to rise. But what ends up happening a lot of times is you resort to inclinating, meaning your whole body will incline over, and then it's easy for your body to be leaning too far because you're trying to get on that edge. Instead of lifting up your toes, you just rely on leaning. So you can get very lazy, or you can almost overdo it because of forward lean. So forward lean absolutely works. You just got to be able to, forward lean absolutely works. You just got to be able to finesse it, that's for sure. Santana, what up, dog? How we doing? And Jono, dude, Jono's like, I say this every week, dude. Jono's like 2 o'clock in the morning for him for sure. I'm gonna scroll back up. I'm gonna try to get through some of these questions. The more questions you guys have, the more it is awesome. Okay, Justin says, I accepted a job offer. I'm super stoked on hazmat class 1 explosive through Canada, Quebec, and dude, congratulations on the job offer, and hopefully you stay safe and keep crushing it, dude. We also got JW8, yo, what up, dog? We got Matthew, who helps me out with a bunch of editing. What up, dude? Hopefully you're good. We need to connect, bro. Coco says, how much are apartments for rent, like a 2-bedroom in Dillon or around? You're looking from like 1,400 to 1,800 probably, like legit. I was in a 2-bedroom place in Wilderness, which is, and it was like 1,450, 2-bedroom, 2-bath in like, a complex with a bunch of other people. Pretty pricey. Just got to work like 12 jobs, that's all. John Roman says, Winter Park is opening on Thursday. Who's going? Actually, I'm going to Beaver Creek on Thursday or taking the day off. I'm not sure yet, but I wish I was there. Okay. Jeremy says, I underestimated how hard riding all new gear would be. I basically had to relearn how to snowboard today. That's a big deal. I wish I had my boots with me. So there's like this double-edged sword right now for me with like new gear. So I have a pair of boots that have probably almost 200 days in them, and they're blown out. Like the main foot part and then the toe box, they're literally separated where like snow gets into my toes and stuff. And I could go and I need to buy new boots, like 100%, but they're so soft and comfortable, and I really like soft boots and malleable boots because I can utilize my ankles a lot, and I have really good range of motion in my ankles. So like I'm so comfortable with that I don't want to have to spend 5 days breaking in boots. I don't want to have to spend 8 days breaking in boots and being less good at snowboarding because I want to create content for you guys, whether it's Instagram or YouTube. So I don't want to necessarily like dumb down my content because I need to break in boots. So I have like a hard time, but I highly suggest as much as you can walk around in them. Go to work. I know you work, dude. Go to work, wear them all night, and really think about pressing your shin towards your toe and creating that flex in the boot so that there's actually like a crease mark in the side of the boot so you can really break them in, and then you can get that performance when you go snowboard instead of trying to break them in while snowboarding. It's going to hinder your ability. It's really challenging. Whether it's new board, new bites, bindings, you got to adapt, you got to overcome it, and it's not easy, bro. It's not easy. Steven says, I need that red and black killing it sweater. Dudes, I'm going to be redoing my merch. I got a lot to tell you, but I can't tell you, but I'm redoing my merch. KVA, also known as Chris Van Awesome, says, who has the best park, excluding Copper? So to be honest, I cannot say with like 100% confidence because I've only been to Keystone. Their park's pretty fun. Not a lot of options, but fun. Breckenridge seems like they have more options, but I just haven't been there, so I don't want to say that it's sick or not sick. So I just need to go, but Copper's popping off. Henry, hey Tommy, any advice on free riding aggressively on a mid-flex board when you're used to a super stiff one? Yes, that is such a great question. So I'm used to like stiff boards, and I recently got less stiff, a little bit more playful of a board. What you really got to understand is where your center of mass is and how far you can move towards the tail or towards the nose, because if you move too far, that board is gonna spit out, and then all of a sudden it's like a whole different experience. Come on. There we go. It's a whole different experience. So you really got to get understanding where are those points of no return, right? You're like, oh, I've gone too far. So what I suggest you do is do a nose press and then do a tail press and then do a little bit of a nollie and then do an ollie and then see if you can make that toe press, that tail press a little bit more aggressive and see how far you can go. And then you're going to get to a point where you kind of lose your balance, but you got to experiment with that board, and then kinesthetically or subconsciously, you got to know where those points are so that you can stay within that range. So on a more stiff board, I'm able to like maneuver towards the nose and towards the tail at a greater length, like so much more. On a softer board, I got to bring that in and stay within those boundaries, but that takes time. But you can expedite that by doing the ollies, nollies, 180s, and those kind of things, and just feeling where those balance points are. But that's like going to be a big thing. And then when you're carving, you have to find where that balance point is on your carving. Maybe you can, grip and rip a little bit, but not as aggressively because the board doesn't have enough rigidity to like hold it. We just got to know what that is. Okay, hey, I can go fast, but I need to make my turns wider. Or I can go slower and make a more aggressive turn, but I just can't go fast. So you just got to feel what those limitations are. So hopefully that helps. Thomas says, how long does it normally take for the mountain to open, for the entire mountain to open up? It just depends on how big the resort is, but usually December to the end of beginning of December to the end of December, that's where like things start to open up, just depending on how much snow. It's probably going to be a little bit later this season, just because we haven't been getting snow. Shaq says, Solomon Assassin or Jones Twin? Oof, I don't know. That's such a good question. I wish I had that answer for you. Hit up Board Archive. That dude's a nerd in a good way about boards. Travis says, opinion on angry snowboarder beef. I don't know if he's beefing with me. That's the second person to say anything. I don't know if he's beefing with me, but he's got some very informative stuff. He's got some stuff I agree with, and he's got stuff I disagree with. But that's like anyone. People are going to agree with me. They're going to disagree with me. But interesting. Afternoon from Sydney. Ben, what up? How you doing? J-Dub says, just moved to the Rockies and your channel has given me so much motivation. Thanks, bro. Let's go. Dude, I'm so hyped. Yeah, dude, the Rockies are fire, dude. There's a lot of fun stuff. There's some crazier resorts out there. There's some less crazy, but I love Colorado. They're pretty consistent. They get a lot of snow. Not a crazy amount of snow, but they get a good amount of snow. Resorts are fun, good infrastructure, lots of snowmaking, so you know we're going to be able to ride. Even if it's not like a great winter, we'll still have terrain open. Linda says, how busy is Colorado mountains over the Christmas to New Year's? I'll be in Colorado and wanted to stop by, but last year Tahoe was crazy busy and might go skip if it's too busy. Yeah, it's definitely a tourist destination. Breckenridge, Keystone, Copper, Vail, Beaver Creek. A lot of people come to Colorado. This year, I think it will be busy still, but it may have the limitations of reservation system and all that. But it is busy. It is busy, for sure. You just got to go early and then expect to wait in a line for a while, for sure. Steven says, yeah, 2 deers in 2 weeks, dude. That's rough. Our boys hit 2 deers in 2 weeks, dude. They're beefing. Hey, Dre says, hey, Tommy, I got a Loveland Buddy Pass with your name on it. Let's go. Will you DM me on Instagram and maybe we can schedule something out? That would be really sick. I got another boy, Kirk, who also wants to go ride there, so it'd be cool to connect with a couple people while we're down there. Would be sick. Austin says, hey, I enjoy the channel, man. Could you do a comparison between the proper Canva and the Graduate? Yes, that is a video that I absolutely want to do, simply because I have that one back there. I'm sorry, I'm getting a text message right now. But yeah, I got a Graduate right back there, and I have not busted it out yet because it's such a nice board that I don't want to be. There's two reasons. I don't want to bust the board early, get hit rocks, wreck the board. Also, I feel like the board would be really good on jumps as well as ripping some carve, and there's not a lot of real estate on the runs or real estate on the mountain right now to be actually doing that, and I don't want to necessarily be like ripping a bunch of carves across the fall line and getting wrecked, trying to stay on my feet, you know what I mean? Jessica says, I'm riding in Marmot Basin at the end of the month. I hope you have the sickest time ever. Also, we got L Stacker starting beef in the chat with waffles or pancakes. Waffles, 100% all day, every day. Oh, and then we also got Kyle saying, does pineapple belong on pizza? Rip. Rusty Nail Rider says, sup, Tommy boy, lesson with Easy set for the 14th. Let's go. I'm available on Tuesdays and Saturdays. We've talked about that, but let's make it happen. Maybe we'd be sick just to go out to dinner and talk about snowboarding. That could be really sick too. Could be really fun. So let's keep in touch. I always see your DMs, dude. Rachie says, 3 questions. Any preference on boot stiffness for carving and speed? 1, let's see. A lot of people like, when you specifically are carving and speed, they like a stiffer boot because you're going to be able to put any energy into the boot, and board is going to translate into the board and responsiveness way quicker, versus a soft boot will kind of like absorb some of the impact or absorb some of the pressure and not necessarily get as responsive. So people do. Ryan Napton, big shout out to Ryan Napton. He's been crushing it. He hasn't put out much content, but I know he will. Same reason. I kind of talked to Ryan about it a little bit. He's like, yeah, it's just so hard to do what he does when the runs are so narrow and everyone's going fast and he's trying to do this. It doesn't really make sense, you know? Aaron Snow with the $2 donation, pancakes unless you got chicken. Yes, chicken and waffles are freaking fire. Okay, so a lot of people like that. What I would love, Rachel, what I'd love for you to do is demo a pair of boots and bindings and see what stiffness you like. That's definitely a big one. And then the next question is, have you tried the new gen Burton Step-Ons? No, I've actually, the very first time I've ever tried Step-Ons was earlier this week. Saturday, Sunday, I've never been on Step-Ins, period. Any kind of variations of those. So I have not tried, but I definitely want to try with Step-Ons just so I can speak out of experience and not just say they're sick or they're not sick. Like, I want to tell you guys through experience if they're sick or not sick, or who they're for. Because there's a big reason to have them. And the big reason is, like, if you have injuries, limited mobility, you want to just keep up and go fast, those kind of things, it definitely helps. I am such a traditionalist. I ride traditional camber. Don't like hybrids. Don't like reverse camber. Give me traditional camber. Flat boards, I'm still like, But give me a camber snowboard. I really dig that, as well as like some click bindings. I like those, but that's just like, because I've been doing this for 20 plus years, that it's just kind of like my home. It's comfort zone. Steven says, tomorrow morning I'll be up. Let's go. He's talking about going riding. Hanson says, do you think I can improve my stance? I have a 9 and -3 stance. It depends on what the application is, to be honest. If your application is to try to ride switch, then I like to go more of that duck foot. If you're a little bit more duck foot, meaning you're more shaped like this, your toes are pointed out, kind of like a duck, you're going to get a different performance. I personally like that because I get a lot more range of motion in my hips, both rotation and range of motion, like depth. So I really enjoy that, but I would experiment with it. Try going like 12-12, 15-15 and see what you like. We also just got a $2 super chat. Says, Thick says, I'm 5'10", 220, size 10. Board for all mountain as a noob. Ooh, what do you guys got in here for the chat? I've heard Yes has a couple good boards. Trying to think what other boards. And I'll be honest with you, I don't do a lot of product review stuff. My channel is more like, let's get nerdy about how to utilize your body and the board to do really cool things, whether it's carving, turning, whatever. But Board Archive has some amazing stuff. But is anybody in the chat got any good suggestions for an all-mountain board 510 220? Let's bring it to the community, and I apologize if I don't have your specific answer. Tech boards. Board technology just always evolves, and the truth is I just ride like one board and I stay with that board and just don't change it. So I don't experiment with a lot of different boards. There we go. Are you gonna look at me? Thank you. Sometimes my camera, I swear, it falls asleep. We also got David Off says 11 days at Big Snow Indoor, LOL, shred the East. Dude, you got 11, so it's 11th day you've shredded in the East Coast. Dude, I heard that snow is a little different. You just got to get used to it. But I really want to go down there. I was hoping to go down there for Thanksgiving, but then it was really hard to leave kind of Colorado and all that stuff to go there. So I really want to go. I'm planning on going there this summer. I think it'd be absolutely incredible. I think it'd be so sick. And then we got... Oh, okay, here we go. See, the community, guys. So, Thick says, or Thick got an answer. Yes, jackpot is stiff, so the weight you can still ride 55 or the DOA in a 157 wide. Ooh, let's go. Freshly grazed. Yo, 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 what up, dog? JB, what up? How you doing? SC Light Chicago Design. Watch the video Stance on Stance. Watch his video on Stance on Stance. That's a good one. I had two videos. I have Stance on Stance of kind of my perspective, my stance, and then I have also another one video actually talking about how I set up my bindings for, well, how do I set up my bindings and the stance. So I got two videos that are kind of sick. They're kind of popping off right now. Freshly Grazed says, your webcam looks legit. What are you using? I'm actually using a Nikon Z6. Thank you, Kelly. I'm using a Nikon Z6 and I think it's a 24-70 2.8 lens, lens 2.8, pretty sure. And with that, sometimes I have a Sigma lens versus a Nikon lens, so it's third party, and I think that sometimes like gets a little rip. But yeah, eventually I'll get new lenses that might like talk to each other a little bit better. David Oz says, snow's different, but they've dialed it in now. Feels like a mix of real and artificial resort snow now. Okay, that's sick that they're like really figuring that out. David Oz says, the dude that used to set up the Big Bear is now running Big Snow and Mountain Creek, so it's been pretty sick. Dude, let's go. That's actually sick to hear. We also got and big shout out to the $5 donation from Aaron. Dude, thank you so much for helping us out with the jackpot as well as the DOA. Aaron also had said to Thick, honestly, with your height and weight, I would go with demo a yes jackpot 155. You'll love it. It rides like a medium stiff with your weight. That's a big deal. Like I went to New Zealand and demoed like this board that I thought was going to be the sickest board ever because everybody told me it was going to be the sickest board ever. I rode it, hated it, didn't like it, felt uncomfortable, felt weird, and so I demoed something else that I had no idea about, and it was like, dude, this thing is sick, and it ended up being the Burton Custom off-access True Twin, and I was like, this thing is sick, so I bought it. But if you're able to actually ride and feel what that snowboard is like is a big deal. But I don't suggest riding one board because at the end of the day, you want to be able to contrast one board to another board to another board. Ooh, I like the stiffness for this, but it kind of lacked on there. I like this soft board because of this, but I kind of want something in the middle. And then you find something in the middle, or your application is only carving, then go this way. If it's jumping and do this, you know, like being able to contrast and experiment is such a big deal. It's really sick. SB says, do you wax your new board? Do you wax a new board? I know there's factory wax, but should I put a little on before I go? Yeah, I wax every single time I get a brand new board. I wax it 100%. 100%. Grant says, you got to do a video edit tutorial series, my dude. Like how to edit a video? Dude, I thought about that actually. Thought it'd be sick. Turtle Nate says, hey, Tommy, I've been skiing for 15 years, but I decided to sell my skis 2 months ago and buy a full snowboard setup. I went for the first time last week to Killington and did not trust my front foot. Yes, I totally know what you're saying. Because you've been skiing for so long, it's so intuitive for you to like point your front of your body facing downhill. And then when you snowboard, you actually go sideways. It's weird. Everything gets all confusing. It's not intuitive, right? It's a little like, what am I doing? My biggest suggestion is literally take a group lesson or a private lesson, whatever you can afford. And if you take that lesson, they're going to give you keys to the tricks of the trade, as well as expedite that, and then you're gonna have fun. The whole goal is to get good enough where you can experiment, you can go ride, you can go check out terrain, go ride your favorite runs. That's the goal, or do tricks or whatever it is. But snowboarding is just a little bit more challenging, to be honest. Snowboarding is just a little bit more challenging, and there we go. Come on. Snowboarding is just a little bit more challenging, and that's okay. You just gotta put a little bit more time in, and it's just a little different. Casey Smith says, how often do you wax your snowboard? I suggest waxing your snowboard every 2 to 4 days you ride. Depending on the conditions, if it's super cold out, you want to use a harder wax that's going to be better for that temperature, but it can pull off wax a lot easier. And then also, I like to do it every 2 to 4 times because I will feel when my board starts to slow down. On a catwalk, going into a jump, just skating around into a lift line, I'll feel that, and that's where I really want that slickness or that performance to go, so I can like not be stuck on a catwalk. Turtle Nate says, and my friend took me down a black diamond my first run, and I could not go to my toe side at all. Yeah, completely different story, right? Adventure Carlo, what up, dog? How you doing? L Stacker says, Rock, I like bibs, no snow on my back. Ooh, that's a good discussion. Bibs versus not bibs. I think I'm going to get rid of my bibs. I'm not hyped on them. Oh, this is funny. Aaron Snow says, 84 people watching, 34 likes. Come on, boys and girls. It costs nothing to hit that like button. Tommy dropping straight knowledge. He deserves a like, my dudes. I appreciate that, dog. Yeah, definitely give it a like if you guys are digging the content. We also got Jose Partista in here. Says, what's up, everybody? What up, Jose? Tommy, what has been your favorite board you've ridden? I'm a big fan of the Burton Custom True Twin. It's stiff. It does not butter like a boss, that's for sure, but it really holds an edge. And it's been a really fun board. I like the Burton process, and then they changed it a little bit. Then I like hated it. But I'm really hoping that the Academy graduate will kind of replace that board, that little bit stiffer board. I'm hoping for sure. Porter Harris says, how do you make turns on really steep terrain? Yo, let's go. It's this thing called knee steering. Essentially, knee steering is when you turn your snowboard from your front foot. You can use torsional flex, which means how your board will flex left and right from the nose to the tail. So you can actually do this thing called early edge engagement, get your board to turn really quick. That's one way. Or you can do knee steering, which is a very similar thing. It's really hard to explain here, but if you go to my YouTube page and you type in how to turn, I actually get pretty nerdy and basic with how to knee steer. And then I talk about within that video how to use, so that talks about knee steering. In another video, if you type in how to ride trees on my channel, I talk about knee steering a lot. And I talk about how you get low, you turn your snowboard, and it's not specifically for steep terrain, but it teaches you to turn fast as if you're in trees or moguls, and you apply that same concept over. We also got Jose Portista still saying Aaron Snow is a bot, no cap. Dude, you guys are amazing / so funny. Jose Partista, thank you so much for the $10 donation. Let's go, dude. I appreciate it. Was it Sneer? What up from Iceland? Let's go. Dude, that's so sick. It's crazy how the internet works. Like, we got people all over the world who like come and hang out and talk about snowboarding. It's so sick. Rock Hines says, I'm a big fan of bibs over pants personally. Okay, here's my beef. I've been rocking bibs all last year. I have a pair now because I bought them, and but my beef is, if I have to use the restroom, I know, we're all adults here. If I have to use the restroom, I have to like unclick these things that are underneath my hoodie, and then they go down. And then as I like have to put the overalls back on, then I have to like take off the jacket. I have to like pull out my arm and then put the thing back up. And then it's just like so much more energy and so much more waste of time than I need. What? Dude, let's go. All right, we got my dude Steven here. Says, how can, so I'm going to continue. Steven, I'm going to get to that. Thank you so much for the $1 donation. Let's go. So what I was saying is then it's just like so much more work, dudes. It's just so much more work. As well as pants are sick. You just wear a ninja suit underneath. Dying to fire with the $10 donation. Yo, what up, dog? Okay, so we got Steven with a question. How can you mitigate the risk of catching a sharp edge on a rail? I remember watching a friend bust his rib with a Golden Peak Park catching an edge halfway down a rail. Okay, there's really like two things that you can do. One of them is your body position. Now, let's say that you kind of have slightly soft boots, as well as you do not have forward lean. Well, within that, if this is the high back, it's high back angles like this. Instead of being here, it's here. And my boots naturally have a little bit of leniency here, right? I might have up to an inch of leniency. So if I accidentally lean a little bit too far back, I will not immediately lift up my toes and get that responsiveness, right? What I like to do is as I'm on the rail, I'll slightly lift up my toes so I minimize the weight on my downhill edge, which is that toe edge if I'm doing a board side. So you're trying to just gently lift it up, and I'm not saying ah, and slip out and die, but it's just gentle. It's being aware that you want almost 10% more weight on your uphill edge so you do not catch that edge. That's like one way. Another thing that you can do is called, I believe it's called, oh, these guys are beefing, dude. Let's go. I'm gonna get to that one here in a hot second. To finish this question, I'm trying to find like a piece of paper here. Okay, so imagine that this is the base of your snowboard. This is my lenses that I'm trying to make a goggle company with. But so let's say this is your snowboard, and this is the base of your snowboard, and the bindings are down here, just to illustrate. So I got the board is here, or the base is here, bindings down here. What you can do is called a 2-degree edge bevel or edge base bevel, where imagine that this right here, kind of where this sticker is and it goes down, imagine this is your edge and this is the base material. Well, on this edge, you can actually fade this edge 2 degrees. So remember, bindings down here, you can take this edge so that this thing is flat and it kind of goes like that, right? So this part fades. Now, if I were to flip this over and I'm sliding on a rail, what ends up happening, and so we're sliding on a rail, this is downhill edge. What ends up happening is you do that 2-degree base bevel, and as you're sliding, you have 2-degree leniency because this edge is actually like faded upwards. So then it's not necessarily digging into the rail as much, it's actually faded up, giving you a little bit more leniency. It's a 2-degree leniency to not catch that edge, and you're actually sliding more on the base material than you are sliding on the edge. So that's what I do with my boards. I have not done them on the new boards, the Academy snowboards, but I asked somebody about it today, and they said, yeah, they can do it. But I do a 2-degree edge, so my edges are actually really sharp, so I'll go 2 degrees here, and I'll add 2 more degrees, so I still have a 90-degree edge. It just happens to be tilted a little bit, and with that said, it just gives you a little bit more leniency so you don't catch that downhill edge. Yes, if I'm leaning and landing on my toe side edge downhill, I'm gonna get wrecked, but hopefully we don't do that. That's definitely the goal. SB says, what up, dog? I like how you spell that. Jessica, I'm switching to my straps for my trip because I can't take them off inside thanks to COVID. Oh, wow. This whole thing is such a weird time. Sneer says, you need to come to Iceland and ride. Dude, I would love to. That'd be absolutely insane. Okay, Kyle says, hey, Tommy, I think one advantage of Step-Ons that other snowboarders are not talking about is indoor resorts. You're going down multiple runs and wouldn't have to keep ratcheting on short runs. I kind of talked about that in the last product review video I did, was talking about like, oh, if you lap a bunch of times and you minimize that. If you're, and I think this is a great point, and I love that you're bringing this up, Kyle, because if it takes you 15 seconds times 100 runs, That's a long time, right? But if it took you 3 seconds for 100 runs, yeah, you're going to save time, you're going to save energy, blah, blah. So like, yeah, that definitely is like a big deal. Ian says, what do you think about step-on bindings? I think step-on bindings are sick for the right person. I think somebody who wants to just cruise around, step in, step out, and go. Like, super convenient, keep up with skiers, whatever, send it, right? Somebody who has limitations on their body, let's say you don't have the range of motion to be able to like get down, strap in, and stand back up because it's too hard because you have a bad hip, bad knee, bad back. You eliminate that whole entire thing and just step in, step out, right? You may have to bend over a little bit, but you don't have to sit down, stand up. Like those things are like kind of sick. I'm such a traditionalist. I like super soft boots, but I tighten the crap down out of my bindings because I like the way that feels and that responsiveness and the specific performance I get out of it. I just enjoy that. I have not tried the Burton Step-Ons. Maybe I'll try them. Positive stance opinion. Trevor, yeah, they're sick for the right application. I'm not going to ride freestyle and a bunch of switch riding, hidden jumps, trying to do 5, 7, 9, 10 with posi. But if you're trying to lay down some carve and you only ride normal one direction, not a big deal. That was a good question in here, but Aaron S. said, what's your preference of Breckenridge and Keystone? Headed to Colorado next week after finals, but I haven't reserved any days yet. I've never been to either. I like all mountain tree riding. So Breckenridge is a little bit more mellow right now, but they have a little bit wider of runs, so you're going to get a little bit more cruisy and stuff. I haven't been there in a couple days, so they may, probably about a week, so they may have opened up some terrain. I'm not specifically sure because I've just been riding a different resort. Keystone has a long run and a lot to offer, but they're a little bit busy. They also have free parking, which is sick. There's free parking at Breckenridge. It's just a little bit more energy you got to put in to get the free parking. But I would say go to both. But if you could, I would say maybe go to Keystone for a little bit. I like Keystone. I've been vibing there. On my last 2 days off, I went to Keystone. Kind of where I'm going. Somebody had a good question in here. I read it, but I haven't addressed it yet. My phone is blowing up in the corner. All boards have a 1 degree base bevel. I found when I went to snowboarding, talking about your bevel. Ooh. Jackson says, hey, Tommy, I've been having some outer calf pain with my leg. I ride 15-15 for my binding setup. Do you think turning my bindings to 20-20 would help with the pain? Love your videos, man. Jackson, I would try 12-12, 9-9, and then maybe go out. Also, on my binding video that I put out where I was at my buddy's garage, I turned my high back angle. So let's say your bindings are this way. Say your bindings are this way, 15-15. Your high back is also at 15-15. What I do is I actually turn my high back to be parallel to the heel side edge. So my foot is actually pointed, let's say my foot is pointed sideways, but my high back is pointed straight. So they're actually at 2 different degrees. You could also do that. So watch that video. I think it was like 2 or 3 videos ago, but I talk about how I make my high back angle parallel to the heel side edge. I would try that as well. Oh, why do I feel like a collab with David Jones would be sick? That would be sick, dude. That dude's freaking insane. He's crushing it, killing the game. Absolutely. He's sick, dude. He's doing it right for sure. And then Will says the Culp. Okay. Steven says, being 5'10", should my stance be 21.25-ish? I would say try to find the stance that's right for you. I'm 21.5 and I'm 5'5". So you can see right there that you're 5 inches taller than I am and I have a slightly wider stance. So you may want to do that. I have a buddy Easy who's like about your size and he's at like a 23.5. So see him go wider, but a little wider, but also make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. So as you're flexing down, make sure your knees are not caving in or bowing out. You want to track over your knees so you're in a more biomechanically more awesome position. Dude, there was a question in here that I wanted to read. Okay, Pitt with the $2 donation. 7 minutes ago, I apologize. Jose is a straight capping. He still hasn't booked Colorado trip in January with the boys yet. What? Dude, Jose, gotta come out, dude. Jessica says, also, you can kick your high back up right before you get off the lip and strap in right away. It's true. You can literally be like strapping and rolling out. We got Rusty Nail Riders with a $25 donation. Says for the holiday decorations as a part of your live stream for the background. That's such a good idea. I'm not gonna try to be too rude, to be honest. I'm gonna look at the calendar right here. Calendar. Okay, Christmas is on a Friday. Okay, so on the 22nd, should we do a little festive holiday? Maybe we put a little tree back here and some other stuff. Could be sick, could be sick. Could be fun. Tuesday, holiday, could be sick. What do you guys think? Should we do it? I'm a beginner. Could you give me some advice about turning or anything to improve my riding? Yes, that's such a good thing that you're asking. When you're doing beginner snowboarding, the biggest thing is being comfortable with putting about 60% of your weight in your lead foot. And this is for Nicole, by the way. Put 60% of the weight in your lead foot. What that's going to allow you to do is steer better with your lead foot. And there's 2 videos I want you to check out. There is how to ride switch video. You can go to my main channel, and then on the right hand side about midway down there is a search icon. You can just search everything in my channel and just type in the word switch, and then another different search, type in the word turn. And on turning, I have some like this really nerdy sick video on how to turn and do knee steering and link your turn from like your heel side and making those really sick C turns, and like make this C turn and get really good at it, make this C turn, and then you put them together and then you got an S turn. So I got some really sick stuff there. I think that you would like. But 2 pieces of additional advice is, if you can take a lesson, it's going to expedite your experience by a lot. I do not do any private lessons. If you're in Colorado, I can definitely refer you to one of the boys or with the girls or whoever you're looking for. I got some people that I know and more importantly trust. After that, so take a lesson, expedite the process. After that is have fun. You know, you want to go snowboard, you want to enjoy your time, have fun. You might, it might be a little slow or frustrating. Just, you know, look around, take a deep breath, like enjoy being outside in -5-degree weather and like, dude, this is crazy that we're out here. But like really, really enjoy this being outside. Ian says, okay, thanks. Yeah, dog. Sneer says, it's better to have a board that can bend. I like stiff boards for sure. Okay, David Off says, Step-Ons are great. I'd wear them whenever I go with my skier girlfriend, like a traditional binding due to the responsiveness and feels tight of the straps. Yeah, that's so true. That's sick. And there's like a lot of cool benefits to it for sure. Old school K2 clickers, right? Lighting design, Chicago. That's so true. Remy, let's go. Remy with a $13 donation, $14 from Canada. I can't wait to get out there. I cannot wait to get out there. We're gonna make it happen. We've been talking about it. Remy and I have been talking about it for about 36 years now, about me getting out to Whistler and Canada and showing us around. And it would be really sick, dude. We're gonna like put out the vibes. We're gonna go snowboard, go send it. We just gotta let this whole weird world that we're in roll out. Sean Roman calling me out saying, where's the background music? To be honest, my this thing right here, where are you? This thing was like dying. This is my wireless microphone. I actually bought this so I could go snowboard with it. I have another wireless microphone that's like really big, but imagine snowboarding with this. And I fall, boys. I fall a lot, boys and girls. I fall all the time. So imagine snowboarding with this and falling versus this cute little baby thing. So this can go in my pocket. I'll fall and not even notice. This is less likely to get broke off than my cell phone. So I bought that one's like high quality production, like, ooh. And then this one's like, okay, put in my pocket. But I was trying to charge this, so I forgot to put the music on, long story short. Remy, thank you so much for Remy, thank you so much for the $14 donation. Let's go. And I appreciate all the donations. Like, I have no expectation of donations. I'm here to answer as many questions as I can, hang out with you guys, get to know you, and get super nerdy out here. Okay, Kev says, hey, Tommy, what's your review on Step-In bindings? All the reviews I've watched, though, review them no longer seem to be useful except for Sean Oz. Dude, Sean Oz. Yeah, we've actually been talking about Step-Ins quite a bit tonight. I think there's a lot of definitely pros of it. I'm not going to switch over. I just love the way of traditional bindings feel, the way I can trust it. I just know them. I can like click, like get them like specifically how I want them. So I just like them so much, but there's a lot of pros to them with how fast you can get in and out of them, how quick you can keep up with friends, how you don't have to bend over if you have limitations of your back, hips, or knees. So there's like a lot of cool pros and cons, but they're really useful for like beginner snowboarders that are just struggling to stand up. Well, I'd rather you go snowboard side and figure out how to stop, slide, turn, than just trying to figure out how to stand up. And then you fall, you get frustrated because you have to stand up. You don't want to stand up. Well, this could help you learn how to snowboard better. Yes, eventually you're going to have to know how to stand up, but you can learn snowboarding, have fun snowboarding, like snowboarding more, or like it sooner, and then you figure out how to stand up. Adventure Carlos says, Bogus Mountain is my home mountain. Let's go. Bogus Basin, sorry. I've never been there, but I've heard of it. I have a couple athletes I've worked with that are from there. Sounds sick, though. Aaron S. says, I love my Burton Step-On binding so much. Upper body is always sore from sitting down and standing up from strapping in. No more. Ooh, let's go. I talk about it, so I'm making a video on how to snowboard one-footed. I talk about how I strap in fast, and how I don't sit down. I give you guys kind of a little lesson on how to do it. Look out for that, could be sick. Hey Tommy, do you ever do any street riding? I feel like a video on street missions would be sick. I think Casey Willax has a video on this, but definitely think you should do this. Dude, I used to do it a bunch. I have some photos on my Facebook of me doing hitting linked fences, like those chain link fences, and doing a front lip on top. And then I've done some street rails numerous times for sure. I don't do it as much because it's high consequence, and my livelihood depends on me being able to coach and snowboard. I'm not a professional athlete by any means, no way. But I need to be able to snowboard to make money to pay for the electricity. You know what I mean? So got to keep that in mind. But if I did one with maybe get a couple friends that goes, and I can explain the process and maybe hit the feature, but I definitely think it could be really cool. Let's see what else we got. Henry, hey Tommy. Oh, what? Let's go. Will. Yo, have not been, okay. Yo, how to not get the spin while practicing spins. So you're talking about how to not get dizzy while trying to get dizzy. So one technique that I use specifically for more like 720, so higher end spins. This is what I do, and I have some stuff on my Instagram. So hopefully you guys will be able to see this. Yeah, so when I'm doing a backside 720, essentially I'm opening my shoulder and I'm throwing this direction, but I'm traveling towards you guys. So as I do this trick, I'll go like this. My eyes are at you, so I'll get low, I'll throw it, and then I immediately turn my head here. I'm only 180 degrees, and then the rest of my body will rotate, and then I'll do that again. And then essentially what a lot of ice skaters do, and when they're doing the twirly, they'll spin, and then they're letting their eyes focus on one point and minimizing how much time they're actually spinning. So if you can reduce, not minimize the time you're spinning, minimize the time you're actually getting dizzy, so they find a point to look at. And for snowboarding, that point is the landing. So I spin, find the landing, spin, find the landing, spin, find the landing, and that helps me prevent from getting dizzy. I don't get dizzy on 5, 7, 9, 10. I've done 12, but it's been a while. I don't get dizzy on those, but if you're buttering a bunch and your eye, you're grabbing your nose and you're staring at the ground, you kind of get that dizziness. So you may be able to try that, is look and try to spot that place over and over and over. Okay, here we go. Owen says, hi Tommy, not sure if you answered this. Where should I start the jump motion, at peak of the jump or the path? Kind of know what you're saying, but I don't really know what you're saying, so I'm going to do my best. If this is a jump, I like to flex down, and when I jump, I do a pop. A pop is a 2-footed extension off of the lip. An ollie is where you retract 1 foot, build up a lot of pressure, and spring off your board and your back foot. So we're going to do a pop. This is the jump. Woo! As I go down, I'm sinking down, and then I time my extension so that I'm about 90% extended as my back foot leaves the lip. Right there. Now if I extend too early, I can run into it, or I minimize my air, but I'm trying to get 90% extension as my back foot leaves the lip. I don't like to 100% extend and lock out my knees. I want to save a little bit in reserve, because if I lock out my knees, I could hurt my knees, or it takes so much more to bring them back up to grab. So I extend about 90% back and then retract my knees. Hopefully that helps. Casey's, Giano. Okay, hold on. Nicole says that I feel like my boots get loose when I'm boarding and I never know how tight they should be. Is it better for them to be tight so I can barely move, or should I have a little bit of leeway? You're going to hate this answer. Personal preference. Somebody like me, I like a little bit of leniency so that I don't necessarily get so much high performance. I want to be able to push my shins forward a little bit without them engaging, so I have a little bit of room for error, you know? It's like me driving down the street and the lines are against my tires, and if I accidentally go too far right, too far left, I like to have like a little bit of wide run, you know, a wide lane. So if I kind of accidentally swerve over here, it's okay. If I kind of go over here, it's okay. That's personal preference. What I would love for you to do is be able to tighten them like pretty tight and see, do I like the way the board performs underneath me? Is it too responsive and it's like, whoa, I can't control this. And then I loosen them up just a little bit. Maybe this settles in. And then you loosen them a little bit more and you're like, man, I'm just not digging this because I feel like I have to work so hard to get my board to turn. You want to find that happy medium. Hopefully that answers your question, but I like mine to be like a little bit on the leniency side. Jose Garcia says, just bought the Donic Ryan napkin style board. Any tips for riding that board? I got step and bindings on them and love them. Let's go. Really spend some time understanding how long it's going to take from going edge to edge. So if I have a narrow board like this is a good example, narrow board like this, going from this edge to this edge doesn't take as much time. But when I have a wide board like this, going from this edge, like here, to this edge is gonna take more time. And you just gotta be able to know how much energy will it take to actually get on my toe side edge versus how much energy is it gonna take to my heel side edge. How long is that gonna take? Do I have to be more aggressive when I'm changing edges? Do I have to be less aggressive? You really want to spend some time, spend freaking an hour just cruising and just thinking about that. How long does it take? What are the differences on my board? The board may have a larger radial side cut, so the turn may not be as aggressive until you lean it in to make it aggressive, or it might be super aggressive depending on what your other board is. So you just got to take time. How long does it take to go from edge to edge? How sharp are the turns? And just feel it out, and then you're going to have a good day. Jono says, so your app, what's happening in the book? Ooh, the book is just taking longer than I expected because things have just gotten hectic. Everyone's working, everyone's coaching, things are hectic. So thanks for the reminder. The app is in process. My dude got sick and now he's back on it. He's gonna work the next 2 weeks. Actually putting a financial deposit down on the app to like get that thing like jump started. So your donations is gonna go towards the app. I appreciate it, guys. As well as the so the app is like, we've been looking at design. So like we have 36 different windows that is going to end up being on the app, including like menu settings and back end stuff, like a bunch more stuff than we anticipated. So with that, the app is actually pretty techy, pretty advanced stuff. Hoping to get it out sooner than later, but it takes time. It's probably going to take another couple months. But we're going to use this year as like a demo year, kind of figure it out, and then next year will be like full on. And so I appreciate that. So we got a couple things. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the app, because some of you guys not been here, I'm creating an app. So on Instagram, I have over 400 breakdowns of tricks, skills, and turns and stuff that you guys can go to my Instagram and go look at, but there's no way to filter it out. Hey, Tommy, I'm looking for a back three. How do you find that? Like, I know where it is because I wrote it, I did it, but to find that specific post is nearly impossible for you to find. So what we're doing is we're taking this app, we're taking all that content, putting it in an app so you can search backside, and then it's going to come up with backside 50-50, backside 3, switch backside 3, and then you narrow it down. Okay, backside 360, and then it's going to give you a backside 360 breakdown. Was that backside 360 off a catwalk? Is it off a rail? Is it off a jump? You have all these options. You're like, ooh, okay. Break it down, get nerdy. After that, let's say you're bored, you don't know what you want to learn. So I can have beginner, intermediate, advanced tricks, list of tricks. You're like, I want to hit a jump trick. Here's a trick. So it can give you ideas, inspiration, or find what you're looking for. In addition, it's going to have a friend finder. So when you guys are at the mountain, and you're like, you know what? Who's riding with me right now? sorry, who's riding the mountain? I don't have anybody to ride with. You look at my app and you'll be like, oh, there's 17 dudes that are like on the app that are around. And then what I'm doing, I think is very important for snowboarders, is to be able to distinguish or to be able to vibe with that person. Now, let's say you hate park, and that's okay. Are you and I gonna be the best match? Maybe if I like not riding, dude, let's go. I'll get to that in a second. Sean Roman, dude, thank you so much. With the friend finder, if you hate park, why would I want to match you up with a park rider, right? You want to resonate with you got to vibe. You got to like what's up, dog? We're gonna go ride groomers and be stoked because the 3 people we're riding with all want to ride groomers. How much more of a sick day is that than I'm gonna go meet up with this dude and I don't really want to be here and this sucks, right? That's not what we're doing. So you're gonna have to like make a profile. You're gonna be able to distinguish what you like, what you don't like, kind of give it like a rating system. Moguls, park, pipe, rails, carves, groomers, POW, off-piste, that kind of thing. And then you can find people that you vibe with. Also, there's gonna be like a social media aspect where you can like submit your trick. So I did a backside 360. You can submit your backside 360 and then the community will be able to look at it. I'll be able to look at it. I won't guarantee I'm gonna respond to it or break it down for you, but we'll be able to look at it and stuff. I'd like to respond to as many as I can, but I can't promise anything. And so that's kind of what the app's gonna be. Friend finder, get better at snowboarding, get inspired. That's the goal. So big shout out to Sean Roman with the $20 donation saying one app button. Dude, let's go, right? One app button, little thing. So hopefully, come on, there we go. Hopefully we're able to really sort out the bugs, try to crush it, try to get this thing to like pop off. And then, you know, I need a reason for you guys to download it. Maybe you download it as a friend finder, and then you find value in the other stuff, like to come back and find value in the tricks and tips and all that stuff. I may put out exclusive videos there too. That's like, I have a couple different options to like get you guys to go to the app, right? I'm not just gonna make an app and say, hey, go check this out, give it a like, it's sick. No, I need to give you guys something that's gonna help you and that you can actually use. That's what I need to do. That's at the end of the day, that's the only way you're gonna use it is if like it helps you, right? So, and I understand that and I'm okay with that if it helps you. So that's gonna be a big part of the app. So really stoked. And if you guys have any other suggestions about, how to make the app more awesome, we're gonna have like version 1, version 2, 3, 4, 5, and then who knows what we're doing. Sell it for $100 billion. I don't know. Jono says 100 people in the chat. Let's go. 100 of you guys. Isn't that crazy to think that there's 100 people that are hanging out talking about snowboarding? Is pretty wild for sure. Ian says, is there any quick tips on how to frontside board slide? Yes. Do a 50-50 and then go 50-50 for about a third of the rail and then shift into frontside board slide and get that like 5 times and then 50-50 to about halfway on the feature and then do front board and then do 75% of the feature front board and then eventually you're going to need to jump on, but get comfortable with that position here throughout the beginning stages of the trick and then you just got to jump into that position that you're comfortable with already. Will says, you know how you squash the back knee while carving to tighten up the turn radius? Is that equivalent for your heel side? On heel side, what I like to do is almost like turn my toe and really feel the edge of my heel dig into the snow to get that thing to turn up. So you actually use more of your like early edge engagement, the edge that is on the nose of your board to like dig into the snow and turn. So that's kind of what I do. When are the goggles coming out from Casey Smith? When are the goggles coming out? Just got the Dragons NFX2, but we'll drop those if your goggle company has that flat goggle design. So my design that we're coming up with, big shout out to Grandpa Bob, is it's gonna be interesting because there's gonna be kind of 2 parts to it. It's gonna have the frame and the strap, obviously, but within the goggles, another company is doing this. It's really sick. But you can take out the lens and go from like a cylindrical lens, which is flat lens. You can take that off and then go to like a toric lens. So you can like switch out the different shape profiles of the actual lens. So we're gonna do that. But I don't want to just put out some crappy goggles. Like that's not my MO. That's not what I'm trying to do. So I'm going through Zeiss, which is who makes Giro and Anon goggles at the moment. I think Anon's might be moving away from them, but Anon's made their goggles for like 4 years. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. But I'm using somebody who is amazing at producing lenses, and I'm gonna like piggyback on their credibility and their quality of content, and then I'm going to design my own goggles. And I was gonna do like I'm gonna do like black, white, and then a limited edition red goggle. It's gonna be like a limited edition red goggle. It kind of goes with like the brand, but it's limited edition. And then probably, I don't know how many I'm gonna sell. I'm hoping to only do like 50. Oh, I just got a new subscriber. Probably doing like something like 50, but I don't know. We got to really like kind of dial that in. But yeah, we're gonna have some flat ones. But I really like the cylindrical look, which is the flat lenses. And then I am gonna probably have about 4 different options for lenses for the first year. But I'm not gonna be just making trash goggles. Like I gotta make sure that they're sick goggles, or else what's the point? Because my credibility and my trust in you guys and your trust in me relies on it. If you're gonna buy a goggle and they're trash, you're gonna be like, dude, Tommy, you suck. You're just trying to make a quick buck. No, I'm trying to provide a quality product that you guys can have for a long time, and try to do some cool stuff and put some money into like a company that hopefully I can grow and allow me to snowboard a little bit more. But who knows? Will Woo says, can we help beta test the app, please? Yes, I'm actually gonna do a live stream with the designer of the app. We're gonna do a live stream together. He's gonna walk us through it, and then on the spot, you guys will be able to download the app, and then you guys need to give me feedback. If it's trash, let me know. If this link, you're clicking this button, it doesn't do anything, you gotta let me know. If you click this button and it sends me over there when it should have sent me over there, you gotta let me know. So I need your help with that for sure. That would be absolutely incredible. Kyle says, Snowboard Friend Finder would be awesome. Let's go. Yes, dude, that would be sick. Let's see. This year's my goal is to learn butters without catching edges. Yeah, it wrecks people for sure. If you go to my channel on the main video page and you search in the right-hand corner or right midway down, type in butters, I have a really sick video talking about how to not catch edges. Lake Hawks, what up? Going snowboarding tomorrow. Any tips for beginners and intermediate riders? Have fun. Oh, tips for going fast. Have fun. Keep your body as stacked as you can when you're going fast, so your shoulder, knees, and hips are like stacked together. Your knees are bent. You're ready for anything at any time. Somebody might pop out and try to like take you out. You got to be able to avoid them. You got to be able to do that. But definitely make sure you're going fast, but within the ability of stopping. The last thing I want to see you do is take somebody out or get taken out. Not fun, not sick. It's interesting because Jono just said, Jose Bautista and Aaron, you are killing it. And then I think the chat thinks killing it is like a negative thing, where in like the snowboard culture, it's kind of like, yeah, you're killing it. And so it makes me, it blocks his words, killing it, so that he can't say anything unless I say it's okay, which is kind of funny. Like Cox, Will, Aaron, Jose. Oh, Aaron Snow is funny. Aaron says, Jose, I hate you even more now. LOL, just kidding. Seriously, you book January, bro. Yo, what up? 05 says, hello, I'm your fan from South Korea. LOL. Let's go. Dude, let's go. I appreciate it, dude. Seb156, are you riding Keystone tomorrow? No, I'm going to ride Copper tomorrow. Copper's sick, bro. Keystone's sick too right now. I've been having a lot of fun there. One thing I really enjoyed about Keystone is the vibe from all the employees, all the staff. Like, it's been so fun, man. People have been so cool. I've never had a problem like at Keystone, and I'm just saying it's been sick. Breckenridge, been sick. Like, there's a lot of good people out there, that's for sure. Been having a good time. Julian says, that's sick that they'll be spherical and high, super high quality. Yeah, dude, that's the goal. I just want them to be sick, you know what I mean? Arlie says, do you have any reviews on recent flow bindings? I've never rode flow bindings in my life. I may do a review, but not anytime soon. Was it Ether? Says, hey bro, where do you live? I actually live in Silverthorne, Colorado, just outside of like Breckenridge, Keystone, and Copper. Casey Smith says, and unload lines suck when they get water on the low light lens with the color optimization freaks out and looks weird. Almost crashed when I tried them. Oh, that's good to know. And that's also another thing is I'll do a small focus group with my goggles, probably local only, especially with COVID and stuff. We're going to find a way to do it respectfully. But I definitely need to get some goggles and have people test them and tell me what the heck is up. Kenny says, do you have a backyard name park yet? Also, how are the different language channels going? Ooh, Kenny, dude, I love that, dude. Kenny, what up, dog? So backyard park has a name. I think I might just call it Bennett's Backyard. Might be kind of cool, super simple though. The other thing I was gonna say was with the channels, it's hard for me. They're there. They just haven't been put any work into it just because there's like a lot of work in there. And I just would rather right now put out content for you guys than trying to blow up other channels that I'm not at the capacity. I think when I get a capacity to hire some people and hopefully soon, hopefully I got some cool news for you guys in the next month or so. Might have some really cool opportunities coming up, but they're not official until they're official. But I'd love to be able to hire somebody and like have somebody like be able to do that kind of stuff, be able to manage those channels on the back end. Because essentially what you got to do is convert the language into that channel and then just post it. It's kind of simple, but it takes a lot of energy because you have to like translate it, upload it, description, thumbnail times 5 channels per video per 3 videos I'm doing right now. Oh, dude. Reggie Sue with the $5 with the hype. Let's go. I appreciate that. Let's go. So it's kind of, yeah, so that's the goal, is to try to get like I want to hire like a filmer. I want to hire an editor. I want a little team behind me, but we're not there yet, and I'm okay with that, you know? And then we also had Ian. I believe you asked a good question. Ian said, where are you at, dog? Ian says, do you edit all your videos yourself? Matthew in the chat will edit some videos once in a while, but right now I'm pretty much doing all of them. And I like editing. I've been editing for a long time. I enjoy it for sure. Casey Smith says, Tommy, why aren't you getting the Burton Step-Ons? I'm a park rider and I use them and I recommend them all the time. Softer photons. I can't imagine knuckling with collectors. Yeah, I just haven't tried them, and I'm such a traditionalist that I just love the way that the straps like actually feel. And then we got Seb says, can we all come ride and help you build the backyard park? Ooh. The goal is to buy some land and have a tow rope, and then I can just, I wanted to run summer camp out of them so that you guys can come hang out. We can go run summer camp or come out, do like something special. Thought about doing an Airbnb where you guys can like come out to the Airbnb and ride the park, or have it as a training facility for my team. I got a lot of options. Haven't really decided what I'm doing yet with that, but I definitely want to get land and be able to make a park. Okay. Steven says, Aaron Snow, I'm going to plan something the end of January, so it would be cool to meet other people who follow Tommy. Dude, Steven, that would actually be sick if you guys linked up. That'd actually be really cool. And Ray T, again, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Let's go. Jillian Moore says, wondering if I have to ollie off the lip of extra large jumps rather than pushing my weight down over both feet to load the board when popping camber versus rocker 2. Dude, Julian, do not ollie, bro. Do not ollie. Do not ollie. Here's the reason why. The whole point of an ollie is to build pressure. I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can. Is to build... okay. Just wanted to make sure the micro's still working. The whole goal is to build pressure on an ollie, is to build pressure. So you retract your lead foot and you build pressure on the tail, and then that tail springs you up. Well, if you do that on a jump, especially a big jump, this is what's going to happen. Imagine building that pressure, and then it springs, but it catapults you forward. You get wrecked. Go watch Google, or not Google, go to YouTube and type in Super Park Snowboarding, and you'll see, and just go, and then, so Super Park Snowboarding, go click on one of the videos. They're hitting big jumps, pro snowboarders, and then you're going to see on the bottom right-hand corner, there's like a cog wheel, the settings, and you can put it to like half speed or 25% speed, and then play somebody going off of a jump, and do they ollie or do they double extend off of both feet? They double extend off of both feet, and they pop. You might get lower, and you might push harder to get bigger and to go faster, or not faster, but to go bigger and pop, but you want to do 2-foot extension so that you can take off. Have you ever seen a car go off of a here's a good example. Have you ever seen a car go off of a ramp to another ramp and they go like this, right? The natural reaction of the car is to go here and to naturally fade and match the tranny of the landing. So that's why they make the landings at a certain science till they make sense. If you push off at the same time, you're going to replicate what it's like to be a car. Cars they don't ollie, but they do it right, if that makes sense. So, yeah. YouTube certified, Seb. What up, dog? Maybe one day. Who knows? Who knows? Remy says, have to go. Stay safe, my dude. Peace out, dog. And then Culp says, I have rode in 3 years, but still I'll run some parks, at least the boxes. I haven't rode in 3 years with boxes. Certified. Hey, Tommy, I want to learn how to spin while buttering. Check out, and I think I said this a little bit earlier ago, but I have a really sick video on buttering. And one thing that in that video I talk about is being able to use your ankles and like lift one ankle up. Essentially, here's something that I like thought about the other day. You know what a skid steer is? Dude, Steven, I know you do. So as you're snowboarding, you kind of want to think about your ankles as like skid steering. You're lifting up one toe and you're pushing the other one down, and it's naturally going to get the board to swing around. And then you do the opposite. You'll lift up this toe and push this one down, and then kind of do like this movement. And then that actually will help you rotate your board while you're looking around. But as you're using your ankles, you're also that ankles is what helps you prevent from catching an edge. So in that video, I definitely talk about it quite a bit. Which would be sick, dude. And then let me know if that video is sick or not. And then if I need to make another one, I make another one. Zachary says, do you have any tips for tweaking grabs? Yes. Make sure you grab first. Get in the air, grab, then tweak. If you're trying to tweak too early, it kind of throws everybody off. But understanding where your position of your hand is for a specific trick. If you're trying to do like a tuck knee indie, I'm going to try to give you guys an example here. So, indie, if I'm snowboarding this direction, this is my back hand. Indie means that I need to bring my knees up, but if I take my hand and go between my legs, it's hard to tweak the grab, and that's okay. Or there's a certain tweak we can do, we'll talk in a second, but if I go around my knee outside and grab my board, I can actually tweak and pull it this way because my hand is in the right place for the tweak. Now, if my indie again, take my backhand, put it between my feet, well, if I want to tweak it, I can just extend this leg out and then like shift my tweak that way. So depending on where you grab, will dictate what tweak you can do, and sometimes you may need to reach further to tweak or not grab as much. With a melon, if you grab too close to the lead binding, you can only push your foot away so far, but if you grab it more towards your back foot, you can really tweak it out. So what I would suggest you do is go find some of your favorite snowboarders on Instagram and screen record what they do, and then like break it down. Where are they grabbing? More importantly, why are they grabbing there? That makes that tweak doable. Ethan said, do you have any recommendations on park boards? Ooh, I've been really digging the Academy Proper Camber, dude. It's been sick. But Board Archive has a bunch of nerdy videos on that stuff. I'd definitely hit them up for more like specific questions on boards. Benjamin, any tips for intermediate snowboarders? Understanding where your center of mass is, pretty much where your belly button is, and being able to utilize that. If you're on park features, understanding where that belly button is to help you stay on features. Jumps, if you're going off of a jump and your belly button is too far forward, you're going to get wrecked. Going through the trees, if you're too far back with your belly button, it doesn't help. So really understanding where your center of mass is. Also, point your shoulder. Also be in like more of an athletic position. So if you're going straight down the hill, you want to point your shoulder down the hill, and then your hips, your knees, and your boards are all stacked and like pointing in the same direction. And if you're making a toe side turn, they all like go this way or they all go this way. It really does help a lot. Murphy says, when hitting street style rails and boxes with no ride on, should I be popping off 2 feet off the lip, or should I be doing an ollie? Depends on your speed. Let's say that there's like, here's the rail and you have like no speed and you're coming in creeping and you have to get very, very high up and you're using more of your body to get up there, then you're going to have to really pressure that board to spring up and get on the feature. But let's say you're coming in fast and you're trying to gap to like down here, well then you could just pop and then go here. So if you're going slow, like really slow, then I would probably do more of an ollie. But if you have a little bit of speed, I would pop. Hopefully that answers your question, my dude. Ooh, any advice for landing blind in variable conditions? Have the right goggles, I think, is a really good start. Personally, I'm pretty fortunate to have really good eyes. So my depth perception is really good when it comes to low light situations. I can like do pretty good. But you're looking for contrast. So if you're looking directly down at your feet, you may not be able to have contrast. Contrast equals detail. Detail equals depth perception. So if you're narrow, you're like blinders on and you're looking too much down and you don't have any depth perception, you may need to adjust where you're looking so you're looking a little bit further away, trying to find some indication of depth perception in the snow, and then choosing appropriate tricks. Am I gonna go do back 12s on a low light day? Maybe not. Maybe a perfect sunny, bright day that's perfect. Or maybe I'm gonna do front threes where I have some more time to spot the landing and look for it. And so choosing appropriate tricks is a big deal too. Hopefully that helps. And then David Off says, gotta ollie for those urban features if no ramp. It's also a good point. Keystone has this like pyramid thing, but you can hit it from the front, but there's no ramp. So you either wally it, which means you ollie as you ride up it, or you straight ollie, but because there's no assistance from the ground, I'm gonna have to ollie. So maybe situational, but those are kind of my thoughts on that. We also got Julian Moore says, awesome, thank you so much for the, thank you so much for the answer. Awesome answer, thank you so much. What else we got in here? Devin, what's up, dog? Best way to advance from boxes to flat rails. Try to find a flat rail that is very similar to the boxes that you're comfortable with. There are some flat rails depending on the park that you're riding. There's flat rails. There are flat rails that you do not have to approach from the side, that you can just ride straight on. More times than not, the rails, if it's a flat bar, very similar to a box, it's just more narrow. They're just more intimidating, and you want to make sure your knees are bent, that your shoulders and hips and belly button are all stacked on top of the feature, and that you're not like leaning too far back or too far forward. But they're just more intimidating than anything because they're a different color. They look more firm and aggressive, as well as they're narrow, so you have to be more on point. So make sure that you're lining up your board like 2 to 3 board lengths prior, so that you're like, if you're going to 50-50, meaning straight on, make sure you have everything all set up first, and then all you gotta do is ride straight on with your knees bent. Super easy, super similar, but definitely try to find a similar feature, and but it's more mental than anything. And Castro, I've always wondered what consulting a bigger rider constitutes a beginner rider, intermediate, and advanced, and an expert. What's your thoughts on this? Ooh, so beginner rider would be somebody who like from a never ever to somebody who's like just linking their turns, right? That whole phase of learning how to strap in, learning how to side slip on their heels, learning how to side slip on their toes, learning how to J-turn, meaning going down and stopping, right? That's a beginner rider. And then you go into the intermediate, which is like, okay, I can like navigate the mountain. I can ride blue terrain. I haven't really dabbled in black, but I can ride like green and maybe a little bit of blue terrain. I'm starting to be able to make wide turns versus narrow turns. Closed turns, which means they're more of a C turn that looks like this. You actually finish your turn across the fall line versus like a turn that's more long. So think of like doing a turn on a catwalk. You're going long turns versus sharp turns. Also, intermediate, you kind of start to get into a little carving. You start to introduce into little jumps. You start to introduce into switch riding. You start to introduce to like little baby jumps or big baby moguls, little tree runs. And then kind of that advanced rider is being able to like ride switch down really gnarly runs, being able to go fast to handle the terrain, being able to do tricks, being able to ride switch, regular black diamond runs, moguls that are steep, jumping around. And then like your next level, like professional athletes just have such a complete ownership of the sport, and they've spent so much time snowboarding that they found so many tricks of the trade. They understand how to utilize their body, their board, and the terrain around them. And it's on a whole nother level. Like, there are some snowboarders that I know out there that are some of the most incredible snowboarders, and they're not pro, and it blows my mind that they're not even pro. And then the pro riders are actually pro. Like, it's just incredible what they do. So hopefully that's very vague. If you look up like an instructor's levels, and just type in like United States snowboard levels or instructor levels, you'll have it'll like a 1 through 9 list, and it will tell you exactly what level you're at and what you do. Okay. Nicole says, any advice for beginners that want to do the easy park features without getting in the way of the big dogs? 3 things. 1, go to the right park. A lot of times they designate a certain park for beginners that is separate from the advanced features. So going to the right park, if you go to Copper, there's like their beginner park that is on a completely different chairlift, and then their beginner, like a little bit more advanced beginner, is on this chairlift, but it's on this side of the run, a completely different run. And then their intermediate to advanced is like way over there. So they have it very separated. So what's cool about that is it's less intimidating. The big boys are over on the big boy park. The intermediates are here and the beginners are here. So they're like, you know, and you're in your comfort zone socially. More importantly, you have features that are accommodating the right so making sure that you're in the right place. That's kind of the first one. I got 2 more points, but I wanted to do Aaron Snow with 3 minutes ago with the chat. He says, laughing my bum off. The camera I stared down had me rolling. Well, because it does this thing where it's eye detect. So I'm trying to like get my eyes to detect what's going on. So my camera is using like a third-party lens, and it talks to each other, but like the translation's a little rough sometimes, I feel like. Oh, what? So I'm going to go back to Nicole's question, the other 2 points about beginner rider, and then David, I'm going to get to your question as well, because I don't want to get too distracted, but I got you, dude. So that was like the first thing about going to the park. The second thing is just be socially aware or spatially aware of where you're at in relation to everyone else. If here's a jump, here's a landing, you don't want to be coming over here going underneath and into a blind spot. So you got to make sure that you're going like down your lane. Watch what the flow of people are doing. If they're doing this, then go do that. But don't like try to cross traffic. And I think that was the second point. I forget what the third point was, but remember, I'll get back to it, but hope it helps. I do have a snowboard video on beginner guides to snowboard park. If you search my channel to beginner park, beginner guide, you'll be able to find that. And I have some really cool things that will help you as well. So there you go, Nicole. Thoughts on building air awareness on a snowboard? You have a couple options. One being doing a lot of trampoline time. If you have that ability, it just builds your awareness of your body in relation to the world. Okay, what if I'm here? What if I'm here? How do I do this? How do I do that? That's a big thing. But as far as like, let's say you don't have a trampoline, one thing that you can do is just do lots of 180s, do lots of butters, lots of flat grounds, and spend a lot of time in the air. I did not spend a lot of time growing up on trampolines. Maybe throughout my high school, I probably jumped on a trampoline 10 times through my whole life up until high school. And when I had in high school, I learned like 900s and tried a couple 10s, but didn't really get them. But I did all that without trampolines. I did that just by snowboarding and spending a lot of time in the air. That means a mogul, I'm jumping in the air. A side hit, I'm jumping in the air. Park jumps, I'm jumping in the air. Ollie rollers, jumping in the air. Flat spots, I'm jumping in the air. Just to build that awareness. Like, just the more you do it, the better you get. Karen, how you doing? Says, hi guys, hey. Snow says, just here because I was a little curious. Haha, what up, dog? Just bought a Never Summer Proto Synthesis. What do you think of that board? I've heard great things about it. I haven't really rocked Never Summer much because they don't have camber, but the board I'm rocking right now, the Academy Snowboard, is made in the same manufacturer place as Never Summer. Jose, dope. Julian Moore with the true. How's a Lasik holding up? It's sick. I don't know how far I'm, maybe 4, 5, 6 months from Lasik eye surgery. It's pretty awesome. Driving at night, like little lights have like a little halo effect, which I'm not really digging, but that should go away, hopefully. But the actual eyes are good, but I definitely can't. They're still a little halo-y. Let's see. Wait, also had Devin. Thanks, man. What's your Venmo so my donation can go all to you? Dude, what up, dog? That's sick. What is mine? Venmo. Open up Venmo. My Venmo, if anybody is out there doing a Venmo, I appreciate that. I'm going to pop it in the chat It is this right here. Oh, wait. Wouldn't it be weird if I spelled my own name wrong? Tommy Bennett. Oh, I got a little money in there. That's cool. You know when you like get a pair of pants or something, you put them on, you had like 20 bucks in there, you're like, ooh, it's kind of nice. So this is my Venmo, Tommy-Bennett-2, but it's me doing like a little hand plant. So it's 2 snowboarders, one guy standing in a red jacket. I'm doing a hand plant, so make sure it's the right one. And I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate it a lot. Devin, dude, thank you so much. All right, what else we got in here? I'm just reading some of the chats, my dudes. Kevin says, loving your videos and tips, dude. Cheers from Whistler. Dude, I love Whistler. I want to go back. Had a beautiful Bluebird day. It was sick. Let's go. That's so dope, dude. Extreme Stunts with a GoPro, or not the GoPro, with the YouTube thing. What were the copper lines like? Copper lines were not that bad. They kind of fluctuate, and as more terrain open, it definitely will get less, but I didn't find them that bad. You could, at most, I think I was waiting like 8 minutes. Not bad at all. Okay, Claire says, do you have any tips on doing S-carves? Recently, I've noticed I keep catching the edge, but only slightly, not enough stack it. Not enough to stack it. I'm a beginner, but haven't had this issue until recently. It might be your timing of your turn, your edge change, your body position. So I'm trying to think. It might be like the timing. If you're trying to do your turn, but you do it like too early or too late, it can definitely be a little finicky. I do have a type in YouTube like how to carve Tommy Bennett. You'll see I have like a really sick like carve video that helps you like break that stuff down, and I actually start linking turns, and I have a couple different things in there. But if you have any video of you kind of struggling, you want to DM me on Instagram. And any of you guys, if you want to DM me on Instagram, tell me you're from the live chat, and I prioritize you guys because you're here, right? You're here. Sorry, I just read something, but I got distracted. But yeah. So if you guys tell me you're from the live chat, I definitely like try to get to you guys back like as much as possible. So if you guys, if you want to DM me a video, I can definitely see if I notice any like things that might be helping it for sure. And then I read, where was that? Will says, great board, tough for beginners because never summer contact points are hard to drive because of like hybrid. And an angry snowboarder could rant on to you about it all day. Yo, Devin, dude, thank you so much for the $10 Venmo. The Venmo as a gift straight to the bank account, dude. I appreciate that. That's going to help go towards the app. The app is going to cost a little bit of money, a lot of money, but it's totally going to be worth it, dude. Devin, thank you so much, dog. I appreciate that. Rachie says, have you ever been in any place in Michigan or New York? I actually have not been to either of those. Chris says, why is grabbing crail frowned upon? To my understanding, crail is not frowned upon. There's definitely a couple other things that are frowned upon, quite a bit for sure. Crail is more backhand going to the nose, like proper nose. I haven't had, to my best of my knowledge, it's not frowned upon. But maybe times are changing, times are evolving. I could be wrong, but I saw somebody do the craziest backside 7 to a late, so he did like backside tail 7 to a late crail, and it blew my mind. Jose Bautista bet me $100 that I wouldn't learn it, and I said I was gonna fight him. But if you, Chris, if you have any like information on that, you wanna send it my way, I'd love to hear more about that. Will says, landing blind in moguls or choppy snow. Keep your knees freaking bent, dude. Keep your knees bent, like literally. If you like, think about a shock. Your shock does not sit all the way up top. It doesn't sit all the way at the bottom. It might sit mostly up top, but it's not maxed out. So I like to sit about maybe like 65% flex of my knees. So then if I need to go up, I can. If I need to go down, I can. And I have the ability to do this. But if I'm all the way up, my only option is to go down. But what if I want to jump over the mogul to gap it to minimize the chatter? Because I want to air, because if it's in the air, I'm smoother to a certain point. But if I'm like at 65% flex of my knees, then I could pop or I can absorb. Sitting kind of in the middle there gives you a little bit more range of motion. Issa Mills says, what's your favorite trick and can you do a Japan grab? Dude, the Japan's really hard for me. I do tuck knee, so Japan is lead hand, but same trick with the backhand is called an indie tuck knee or tuck knee indie. Tuck knee indie. But I'm going to learn them this year. I've done them, but I just don't. Here's the thing: is I've done them, but they don't look good enough for me to claim that I can do them. I just don't think they look good enough. Snow KRSK, what up, boss? How you doing, dude? Stoked to see you out here, dude. KC Smith says, yo, dog, when you coming out to Bear? Dude, I know. I have 2 athletes that are from Bear, and they're freaking awesome, and they've been talking about it for so long. I definitely need to go there. Talk knee indie. Let's go. Oh, okay. Chris, my bad. Got my grabs messed up. I was thinking Tindy. Okay. Because I was like, dude, I don't want to be like, I was like, man, Crail's like pretty legit. Oh my God, Rafe, what up? How you doing? Don't worry, I made it. It's that big drive across the street like we talked about last week. Okay, so Tindy. So essentially like, I'm trying to like think about a good example. And I'm trying to think like what a good example would be. But like Tindy essentially, just so you guys know, is a grab that is between an indie grab and your tail grab. That's why it's called Tindy. So to the right, like if this is like your this is like your snowboard, and then your bindings are here. It's kind of in like this spot, like right here. So remember the bindings. So it's not quite tail and it's not quite indie. It's kind of in this weird zone where it's like, ugh. So the snowboard culture has created this thing where like Tindy is not sick because you should either grab indie, you should have enough skill and proper ability to grab indie, or grab tail, not in between. You one or the other, right? And so it's just become like this cultural thing where like you should do this versus that, and culturally this is bad. I personally don't grab Tindy. I grab tail or indie. I feel like I should have enough control in my snowboard to be able to dictate exactly where I'm going. Sometimes like you'll accidentally slop to it, but I like literally would rather put my hand away and not grab at all than grab that spot. So when you're like doing that, certain people look upon it being like, you don't know what you're doing. You're grabbing Tindy. It's not a sick thing. Other people are like, well, it's freestyle. Do whatever you want. There's obviously 2 perspectives. I just don't grab it. I just grab tail or indie and stay out of there. Stay out of there. Dre says, hey, Tommy, I want to get a pearl wax set up. Do they have an iron? Yes, they do. I don't have it with me, but if you use Tommy20 spelled like this, I'm going to pop it in the chat for you. I think it's, and then 20, you guys get 20% off pearl. So go to pearlwax.com. You guys get 20% off your first purchase. So there is a kit that has like an iron wax as well as iron wax, scraper, brushes, wax, all that stuff in one, and you can get 20% off. And Claire, thank you so much with the $360 donation. Thanks for sharing your tips. I'll be sure to send some videos via DM with some pointers. Yeah, hit me up. Obviously, I'll remember your name if you have the same name on both of these. But hit me up on Instagram because I'll definitely be able to see if I can help you. That'd be really cool. And just definitely let me know you're from here. But hopefully that answered the question about the Tindy thing. And yes, they have an iron. I think I already said that. Martin says, what's up, man? Fan from Colombia. Let's go. Dude, that's sick. Been watching your videos. Going to Breck in February 2nd. Time to snowboard. Do you think camber or rocker is better? It depends on what your application is. If it's like crazy POW days and you only ride in POW and you're not doing anything else but ride in POW, rocker is a game changer. Because think about your nose naturally just wants to go up, which means it floats like a boss. But if you're trying to rip turns, you're trying to hit jumps, I like camber because it's going to hold you to the ground better. You're going to be able to carve. It's more of a stable platform. So when you're hitting jumps and landing, it's stable. When you're making a turn, it's stable. It's strong, but you can still ride POW. It's just a little bit harder. Your leg is probably going to burn a little bit more. Okay, you know any private lesson people who are here in Bear? Ooh, we talked about that. I think you just DM'd me. I can ask around. I think I know one dude, but I'm not sure if he's an instructor. He is a coach. but he may or may not be able to do that. And then Claire says, sorry, I'm in Australia, so the exchange rate made it a random number. Dude, I love Australia. I've actually been to Mount Buller, Perisher, Falls Creek, and Thredbo. So I totally know. I've spent like months down there. It's super sick. And Chris, dude, thank you so much for the $10 donation. He says, keep killing it, Tommy. Let's go. Dude, all of you guys with the donations and just like supporting the channel is absolutely incredible. I'm super humbled, super excited. Just to be able to chat with you guys about snowboarding, and all of this stuff is gonna go like towards I need to pay for this app. So I appreciate all this. It's gonna go into my savings account to go to the app, to pay for the app, to get the app out. It's gonna be sick. Pearl Wax ran out of the ultimate waxing kit. Oh no, that's such a rip. Wang says, was in Breck 3 days ago. Pretty icy on the blue run. Yeah, we definitely need a little bit of snow for sure. Let's see. Steven says, the kit is awesome. I just waxed my board with it, and Tommy video helped a lot. Let's go, dude. I appreciate it. Emiel says, love the videos, man. I learned a lot. Any tips for winding up spins without losing balance over the board? Can't seem to get a good wind up for a 540. Yes. Stefan says, what up, man? The Jib House. What up, dog? I appreciate that. Let's go. Hey, coach would work out. I just want to become better. Yeah, it could be sick. So when you guys are winding up for like larger spins, something that like it's misunderstood, you really want to rotate through your spine. So if I just move my arm, notice how you're not being able to see the text of my shirt that well, right? But as soon as I rotate through my spine, you're going to see the whole front side of my body. That's a big deal. But when I'm trying to wind up for a spin on backside, so that means I'm rotating this direction, my back is going to go towards you guys. I actually want to push my knees. You guys can't really see me, but I'm going to push my knees forward so I can get on edge. And then I'm here. So now I'm in a balanced position where my belly button's kind of over my toe side edge. And I'm throwing a spin like this, but I'm not leaning over, kind of like leaning over to this wall and trying to spin like this, because then I start spinning in this weird axis instead of spinning flat. Now when I do front side, the same thing applies. I can bend my knees, lift my toes, and I keep my spine upright, and I rotate like this. That's definitely a big deal. All right, let's see. Oh, wow, that's funny. I just read it. That's funny. What do you think about sprays on wax versus real wax? So I was actually talking to, I have a video in the archive. It's actually sitting in my drawer. You guys don't know, you guys may know about it, but a lot of, I don't know much about the sprays because the spray technology has come a long ways, where this professional border cross athlete, he's on the US Pro Team, was telling me that the sprays have actually gotten really good and they use them a lot nowadays. And I kind of got into the conversation, but we didn't. So I'd have to get back to you on that, the spray versus actual wax. I think if you're trying to high-end top performance, sprays may be very functional, but if you're trying to get like 2-3 days out of one wax, then normal wax is gonna be better. But if you're trying to become like the fastest dude ever, well then you're gonna wanna re-wax every single day or multiple times a day. All right, guys, so I'm going to end that there. My voice is getting raspy. We've almost been here for 2 hours. It's been sick, dude, hanging out with you guys. You guys are freaking awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. It says we have 17 people here. Was I don't care? We don't have 17 people, but I'm stoked to hang out with you guys. So just remember, I'm going to be putting out random content throughout the week. So like put that post notification on so you make sure you guys see those videos. And I'd love for you guys to be able to like share it with a friend, give it a thumbs up, but only if you like it and only if you think it's good. If you think it's trash, let me know in the comments down below the video so I know, so I can make better videos. That's the goal, is to make as awesome content as possible. But definitely do that. And post notifications on, doing live streams every single week. And next week I will be doing, putting out videos on Friday. I'm kind of getting lost, been talking all night. And we also just got a $5 donation saying, Will says, started watching you the start of last winter. Since then, I've stomped so many new tricks with your videos helps. Okay. Started watching your channel last winter. Since Since then, I've stopped so many tricks, and your videos have helped immensely. Thank you. Dude, thank you so much for the $5. And that's the goal, is just to make you guys as awesome as possible. That's literally just what I want to do. If I can do that, we're crushing it. So we got a bunch of Sias. Catman Snow, thank you for coming out. Charles, Claire, Chris, thanks for the donations, dudes. L Stackers, Rachie, thank you so much for coming out. Let's see, David Off says, later, coach. Dude, I appreciate that. Let's go. Will says, Evan Block says, when you come to Breck? I don't know, man. I've been riding Copper. I might ride there a couple days, but I haven't really decided. I can ride there. Just got to go. Just kind of get a day out there. Do you ride there most? Let me know. Kevin says, cheers, Tommy. Thanks for killing it. Or thanks. Cheers, Tommy. Dude, keep killing it. Thanks, dog. L Stackers, dude. Appreciate it. Cameraman, see ya. Joshua, thanks, dude. Have a good one. See ya, dog. Rachie, all of you guys are amazing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for a wonderful night. Okay, yeah, I'll be there either on a Tuesday or a Saturday. Mostly my days off, to be honest. So off from work. So Jose, you are Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh my gosh, let's go, dude. That's funny. Evan, the park is dope. Jumps are up next week, dude. I want to go hit some jumps. That sounds so sick. There's a bunch of sick dudes out there too that I know that ride there a bunch. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much for the live chat. It's been sick. You guys are amazing. And I will talk to you guys sooner than later. See you on Friday. Check out the video. Give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Come back next week if you have any questions. You guys are amazing. Nothing but love. I'm out. You guys are amazing. Bye.